Jack,
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. I mean, I probably could hear you from 22 miles away because this is not a car, it's a thunderstorm, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's, man, the sound, the noise, and the kind of... We had the Mercedes AMG before, V8 bi-turbo, and it sounds tremendous. But this one is a different story. So first, before we talk about the car, tell me a little bit about you, right?
Yeah.
Why, how are you driving that? Why do you love cars?
I've always grown up around cars. My dad's always had nice cars. When he was younger, he's always had something interesting, so I think I just inherited the genes. I met my girlfriend 8 years ago. Her dad's always had nice cars, so
Okay.
it's it's always been in the
Family
family.
tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really rare car. It's one of 15 in the UK.
One of 15.
Yeah, so I love the rarity of it. It's got that awesome 60s race car look to it.
Yeah.
Which you just don't get that anymore. This is a Superformance one, so it's one of the original. It's basically a continuation of the original 60s races. Obviously, the history of them is amazing.
It's tremendous. It goes back to all the kind of the Shelby and how they developed. And they, if you are into cars, you probably, and if you guys watching are into cars, you probably watch Ford versus Ferrari, and then kind of, I mean, all the heritage and all the history behind this pedigree. So this is amazing. This is just amazing. And it looks tremendously dramatic as well, isn't it? Kind of this long bonnet, kind of the rear cabin, and kind of the chopped tail.
Yeah,
it's
the
just,
tail. Yeah.
I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic. So what do you have under the engine there, under the hood?
Yes, the engine is a 6.6 Roush V8.
All right.
I'll open the bonnet up.
Oh yeah, let's open this bonnet.
So it's about 500 horsepower. We've just had it rebuilt. We got it back last year. So we've got, it's an injection system, but the injectors are made to look like Weber carburetors.
Yeah.
So you've still got the classic look.
This is a monster, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's a bit of a beast. With it being the 402R as well, it means it's got the racing cam in it.
Okay.
So it can be a interesting to drive, especially around the towns, which I'm always trying to avoid.
You don't want to drive it slow, right?
No, it hates it.
It hates it. I would say probably hates it. My Lord. And it smells good as well, right?
It does, yeah.
And when you start it, you get that beautiful perfume. Let's put it that way.
Yes, yep.
So how many brake horsepower you said?
It's around 500.
About 500.
Yeah. We haven't had it dynoed, but...
Yeah, how is it kind of, I'm surprised you're driving in this weather because it's a bit frosty, kind of about 1-2 degrees.
Yeah.
The morning, everything was kind of frozen around, and then it was like, oh, hard job.
Yeah, there's no drive raids or anything on this. So
a
very light foot all the way here.
Man, this is glorious. I love the color as well, because it reminds it to the kind of original Cobra colors and then everything. So what about the interior? We saw that you have more dials and more clocks than any other car that we've seen so far here.
Yes, so...
Look at that. And it's all signed as well.
It is, yeah.
So who signed the
signatures are from the original racers from the 60s.
Okay.
I'll go and pop the door open in a minute. But we've got Dan Gurney, Bob Bondurant, Jock and Neerspatch. There's a few others as well. Peter Brock, who obviously designed the car.
That's really cool. And did you ever race it or?
No. So with the engine rebuilt now, we've got 2 years on the warranty, but we can't race it. So
all right. Oh.
Maybe after
that's good and bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's good and bad. And it's such an iconic design. I'm a car designer, as you probably know, and It's such an iconic design with that long hood and the kind of beautiful soft haunches, kind of fulfilling this sense of power on the rear wheels. That's tremendously cool. And in Italy, we say coda tronca when it's cut like that. It's all pure aerodynamics as well. Very few people know that it's absolutely about aerodynamics. So this is super, super nice. This is really interesting. Is the tire choice at this point, the big wheels, the 18s, and the big kind of slimmer tires, the choice of you, or?
No,
because usually
owner,
you would have a kind of smaller wheels and chunkier tires, right?
Yeah.
So why that specific tire choice?
That's what they came with, actually.
It came with like that?
So these were it's basically stock. Can't get those tyres anymore. So I think we've got to go, I think about a centimetre smaller, I think.
Yeah, they fulfill the arch.
Yeah, there's a bit of rubbing here, so
right,
if we go a bit smaller, that hopefully should stop that.
Yeah, because it's a big wheel. When I saw you turning around, I said, oh, those are big wheels for that car. You would expect slightly smaller wheels and kind of chunkier tires, I would say. But it does look...
This chassis was developed for these wheels.
No, it looks really cool. Don't get me wrong. It looks absolutely cool. And double side exhausts.
Yes, yeah. We originally had the single ones on it, but the Daytona, when they raced, they had the twin X at each side. And they're iconic. So we had to change them back.
It's just too cool, isn't it? It's just super cool.
They produced 5 of these, I believe, in Right and Drive, before switching over.
You
to
said
the Mark
15
IIs.
in the UK.
Yeah, so 15 of the like Mark 1s and 2s, but 5 of the original Mark 1s. So the Mark 2s, there were just a few improvements. They did away with this. They changed that to just a window, so there's a bit more
Can you close that or not? It's always open.
No, that's open.
It's just...
I believe it vents down comes out the bottom of the car. On the race cars, they would have cooled the rear discs.
Cooled the rear discs, yeah. And this one there's no actually duct to the brakes.
It just comes back out the back there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a beast of an engine, and the summer it takes some cooling.
Here we go. Oh yeah, it does need a big radiator there, and it works as an aerodynamic device as well. What is the most challenging thing when driving it?
Traffic.
Yeah,
traffic.
But because of the clutch, it's too kind of...
Yeah, it's just on or off. You sort of have to leave a big gap and then fill the gap and then hold back again. Yeah, it's more for country road blast, really.
Yeah. You drive it often, or?
2 or 3 times a month.
Okay, yeah.
It keeps it interesting. I think if you drove it, I used to have a TVR.
Okay, another big monster, isn't it? It can be challenging as well.
Yeah, I drove that every day, and I think you lose the specialness of it. So now
it's hard to lose the specialness.
I guess, but you take it for granted, I think, in the end. But I just daily a old Volvo now, so and then just drive this on a drier weekends. Yeah. But I'm not afraid to use it. I mean, you can see we've used it.
But I mean, cars are meant to be driven, right?
Exactly,
and this is, I see loads of cars sometimes. They come here pristine, absolutely clean, and you talk to them. So, have you been driving? No, I don't drive it. So why? And that's why we are kind of to create this the YouTube channel, because we really want to celebrate. Now, this is what this place is about: celebrating the passion, the kind of what we are about, and why machines like this fascinate us in the way they do.
Absolutely, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the interior. So you have it all signed. Look at that. That's super nice.
Yeah, so the thing I struggle with the interior, all the temperature gauges, they're in Fahrenheit. So it's a proper American racer.
what is really striking for me in this car, the most striking part, it's its proportions. I mean, I love this kind of long, extremely long hood, bonnet, and then the cabin sitting in the back, kind of how fast this rear glass is, and the ducktail, the cut, and the muscularity that you have there. So all that makes it absolutely extreme in the way, I mean, when you drove before, it's just like its proportion is the most striking thing. Of course, the noise is the second, but for me, it's still the way it looks. It's just absolutely fantastic. What a great car. Jack, thanks, mate.
Thank you. Good to meet you.
Nice meeting you again.